Hello and welcome to week 9. Here, as you can see, the top team will versus the bottom team, and the timestamps are at their usual location. Now, as for records, here are all the records currently. We have Saint Snow Guilty Kiss leading the charge with BiBi slightly behind, and at the back we have Lily White, who has been really struggling. So with these games, at the end I'll see who will be in the playoffs and who will be officially eliminated. So let's go ahead and jump in straight into the battles here. Welcome to week 9. This is the first battle here. On the left we have Printop, and on the right we have Guilty Kiss. Printop currently has a record of 2-5, and Guilty Kiss has a record of 6-1. Both teams are absolutely looking for one. Guilty Kiss is looking to secure that 1 seed as they are tied for the best record out of all the groups. While Printop is trying to win everyone possible just to see if they can sneak in to the playoffs here. As we know, there's only 3 battles left here, and after this battle there will only be 2 left, so this is where things start really mattering. If Printop wants a chance at getting to the playoffs, they need to win pretty much every single game. Well, Guilty Kiss is pretty much secured the victory, at least getting into the playoffs. If Guilty Kiss wins here, they shall clinch a playoff spot as they are no longer able to get eliminated, if I'm not mistaken. So here on early on in this battle, Printop is definitely taking a bit more of a beating as Rico has been able to avoid most damage here so far. So far we currently have 3 people here with above 100% here, and we got 2 of Printop's members sent flying, and as well as goes Mari. No, is that able to cover? No. Okay, so Yoshiko's the first to die here. I was wondering if one of the Printop members would not able to cover, but they were able to cover as well. Hanyo is the one who was trying to struggle to get back on, but she's a gunner, so she has pretty incredible recovery here. But he does not recover as he just tried to up B into just straight up instead of going right, which she needed to make the ledge, so she does not make the recovery. And so we have 2 lives down for both teams here, with I guess a slight advantage to Printop in terms of percentage here, as the 2 members for Printop is really low here. And it goes Yoshiko, who is not able to cover, but Kotori soon follows afterwards, keeping the lives even here. Printop is definitely desperate here as they need to win every single game if they want to get a chance at getting the playoffs here. The Guilty Kiss, of course, is also really wanting to gain that first round bye here. So now we have Rico down, and now the last person to not have died will be Hanyo. We'll have to see how long that lasts, but she is at a really high percentage here, but it can definitely make the difference here if she stays alive for a bit longer here. We have Maki, who is trying to chase her down here, and gets a really big hit, and that does finish off Hanyo as everyone has received at least 1 death here. Monika is getting pretty high here with 111% here. With a big hit, she can be finished off, with giving a Guilty Kiss a bit of an advantage. In terms of lives, we're still even here. And we had Rico, who was trying to get someone off guard here, but no one falls for her tricks, and she has good recovery, so it didn't mean much in the end here. Monika's now moved to 160% here, but we actually have Maki going down first here. Now Guilty Kiss is down to just 4 lives here, and there goes Honoka, who could not make the recovery as she got launched pretty far there. So Honoka's down to her final life here. Hanyo and Rico are the only 2 to currently hold on to 2 lives here. We have Yoshiko at a really high percentage, as well as Kotori, the first one to lose. The member will probably have to see a life from the other member here to make sure it stays on 3v3 here. And there goes Hanyo, so now they do not have an extra life to spare for Printop, so if they lose Kotori, they're going to be in a real pinch here. And there goes Honoka. Well, that just seals the game here, as now they lost a person who didn't have that quite much of damage anymore alive. So that really screws this up for them. And Yoshiko just barely survives that as she got launched really far. And she dies anyways, so likely she'll steal a life, and she does from Rico. How kind of her to keep this at 3v2 here to make this just incredibly hard for Printop to get back in here. And there goes Kotori, and Hanyo is the last survivor here, trying to fight off 3 people here, which is just not going to happen. So that will put Printop to 2-6, which will mean they are going to be essentially eliminated, as the maximum they can reach is 4 wins, which the only team that's not in the playoffs that has a chance to get in the playoffs It has 3 wins already, which means they only allowed to get, well, they had to get 2 wins and 3 to guarantee elimination for Printemps. Well, it's just very unfeasible here. So with this win, Guilty Kiss moves to an amazing 7-1, just further cementing their dominance as well as a solid chance of getting that #1 seed. But with this win, they should go to the playoffs. It's pretty much guaranteed. Yeah, I think it is guaranteed. I don't think they can physically not get into the playoffs anymore. But of course, they are looking to get that first round bye, which only goes to the #1 and 2 seed. So with this, congratulations to Guilty Kiss, as they should be in the playoffs, and unfortunate for Printemps, they are pretty much officially eliminated. Welcome to the second battle of Week 9 here. Here on the left, we have AZALEA with a record of 2-5, and on the right, we have it's not Guilty Kiss, Saint Snow with a record of 6-1. Literally the exact same records as the last battle here. So basically the same situation here. If Saint Snow wins, they can keep up with Guilty Kiss and still go for that #1 seed. While AZALEA is desperately trying to survive here. With a victory, they could still technically be in a playoff race without being insanely unreasonable. But with a loss, well, they would go exact same spot as Printemps, which is basically it's over for them. Here we have a lot of the 2 gunners of AZALEA being pushed pretty low, but they were able to cover because, you know, they're gunners and they have high recovery here. We got a massive hit by one of the Sadas here, which sends a lot of Saint Snow flying. But Leia is the first to die here. Not the best move by Saint Snow here. But of course, Saint Snow would still definitely want to get that win here. And win can pretty much cement their chances of getting to the playoffs. And also keep them in a good chance of getting a first round bye. Getting #1 seed doesn't mean too much over the 2 seed here. But securing the first round bye is going to be critically important for them. So there goes Hanamaru as she was finished off there. So now we're down to even lives here, and just kidding, Sada dies. So AZALEA is down just 1 life here, and Saint Snow is down 2 lives here. It looks like Leia should not be able to recover from that. So Leia is down, and now Saint Snow is down 3 lives here, as Leia has not been picking up her just fair share here, as she just died twice pretty early on here. Kanan finally goes down, but Dai is still holding on to her first life here. So AZALEA currently now is holding on to a 1 life lead here. And we'll have to see if Saint Snow is able to get back in this game here. This game is critically important for AZALEA, and it's still pretty important for Saint Snow. Of course, AZALEA is in full desperation mode here, so they're looking to get any win as they can get here. We have Dai and Sada both at really high percentages here, as they're the only 2 people to currently hold on to their first life here. And of course, I'm not referring to the other Sada, as well as there's a duplicate here. And we get a massive hit. And Kanan goes down, and now she's on her final life here. And now we have Hanamaru go down here. So, and Daya. So, wow, what a shift here from Saint Snow. As now AZALEA's down to 4 lives here, compared to the 6 for Saint Snow, as they were able to finish off a lot of members for AZALEA here. So getting back in and ahead, as Saint Snow is starting to show a lot more dominance here. So Leia is now the first to be completely eliminated, so she will steal a life from one of her sisters, I guess. I guess they're a duplicate, so from Sada. So now we have 3 whole lives lost by 1 character. Now there goes Sada, as now one of Sada's lost a life here. So now we're down to 4 lives, back onto 4 lives here, as AZALEA has caught up in lives, as they were able to get 2 kills here. We'll have to see who makes the smart moves from here on out. Definitely AZALEA overall has a lot higher percentages here, but if there are some smart plays, AZALEA can definitely catch back up and get back in this battle here. But we only have all 3 members are getting pretty high for AZALEA, while they only got 2 so far for Saint Snow, so Saint Snow has a bit of advantage here. But actually, one of the Sadas goes down. Now we're down to 3 lives, and we're down to 2 lives as Leia does not recover here, as Saint Snow is blowing their chance here to secure the game. And we have 4 lives on 2 lives here, as Saint Snow just seems to collapse at just very poor moments here. So we have one of the Sadas who is down, only got 5%, and the other one at 65%. If they can finish off Kanan, then they do, but Kanan will steal life here to make sure it stays on a 3-on-3 here. So they did down 1 life here, but they need to finish off Daya and Hanamaru really quick if they want to stay in this battle here. AZALEA just needs to hold on here, just take advantage of their numbers and not receive too many big hits here. They need to finish off one of the Sodas if they want to make sure it's officially over here. But if one of the Sodas can finish off Hanamaru or die, they can definitely make this a little bit more interesting here. One of the Sodas gets launched, but she stays alive. But of course, they are outnumbered, so it's going to be much more difficult for them to fight off an extra member here. So, Sada does recover here, but now she gets launched up pretty far, and there we go. There is the confirmation by Hanamaru. And now we're down to just 1 Saint Snow member, as AZALEA looks like they shall win this battle here. And we got a massive hit by Hanamaru, but does not finish off Sada at the moment. Sada is looking to try to stay alive here. And she does get a kill here, as she does finish off Hanamaru. She gets a big hit on a die here, but she is going to need a little bit more to finish them off here. Sada's doing her best to keep it this interesting. But of course, she has even if she does finish off Daya, she also has to finish off Kanan, who has such a low percentage here. And we get the finishing hit by Daya. As AZALEA technically stays alive in the playoff race with 3-5. So AZALEA could still get to 5-5 in a miracle scenario if they want to get in the playoffs. It's very slim. Let's just put it that way. So unfortunate for Saint Snow, they do move to 6-2, and they lose that very, very good record here, as they also lost to DiverDiva as well. So Saint Snow is now at 6-2, and now they are behind the 7-1 Guilty Kiss here. That will put them tied with the BiBi. So they are still in a good position here, but with that loss, it just becomes harder and harder to secure that first seed. But Saint Snow still has a good chance to get a bye, especially if they win the next 2 rounds here. But the story here is AZALEA here, as Daya gets 4 kills here. A very good performance by Daya. Hanamaru gets a pretty average performance, Kanan not so much here. Leia was just not up to par in this game. That really made the difference here in this battle. So congratulations AZALEA, who technically stays alive. Welcome to the 3rd battle of week 9. Here on the left we have Asuna, and on the right we have Arise. Asuna has a record of 5-3, while Arise has a record of 4-3. So Asuna has been doing pretty well, and they're definitely obviously in a playoff spot here, but of course they are looking to see in a very slim chance if they can get a bye or at least secure a playoff spot here. Arise has been performing very poorly recently. I believe they won 4 in a row in the beginning, and now they have lost 3 in a row, which obviously is not good, as if they keep losing here, they'll eventually lose a playoff spot here. They're holding on for now, but they're going to need any win they can get here if they want to make sure they can secure at least a low seed in the playoffs here. Here we're on, was it Shadow Moses Island from Solid Snake, I believe? Was it Metal Gear Solid? So, of course, this is a very fitting stage for idols, as we would also say, you know, everything about mechs and whatnot with idols here. So early on here, we have Tsubasa, the first to die here, as Arise has taken a bit more of a beating. Shizuku has been doing pretty well and been able to avoid most damage so far here, which definitely gives Asuna a bit of advantage here. We have Ayumu, who barely survives that attack there. Anju goes down, and Setsuna goes down here. Ayumu at a really high percentage, as well as Erena. So currently Arise is down at 2 lives here, and now Asuna is down at 2 lives, as well as we had Ayumu just die there recently. Erena now is the next to go down here, as you see the big hit, which will put Arise down 3 lives here, as everyone from Arise has currently lost a life here. Shizuku is doing pretty well here, still holding on to her first life, and with 2 kills. Although recently she's been receiving a bit more of damage here, as Arise is definitely trying to finish her off as soon as they can. They had a big hit from Asuna onto Arise, but the wall ended up saving her, so she did not end up dying here. So Setsuna goes down, as well as Shizuku. But Shizuku quickly retaliates and finishes out Tsubasa here. Now we have 5 lives on 5 lives here. But of course, Erena and Anju are at really high percentages here, so that can definitely quickly shift it into AZALEA's favor really soon here. So we have Shizuku who's actually down to her final life here. All of AZALEA is down to their final life. As now actually everybody's down to their final life. But Setsuna is at a pretty high percentage here. So AZALEA is definitely in a pinch here. They can get some clever plays here. They could probably try to finish off Tsubasa. Try to give themselves an advantage here. As no lives can be donated. As everyone's down to their final life here. Tsubasa has gathered quite a bit of percentage here. As well as Setsuna. As well as Anju, who are also really high percentages here. Almost everyone at minus Erena is now at a really high percentage here, so a few big hits, and there will be some quick deaths coming up very soon here. We have seen a lot of people flying, and a big hit from Shizuku to finish off Anju, and there goes Tsubasa, so Erena is down to herself here, needing to fight 3-on-1 here, as her team quickly abandoned her. And now she has to dodge 3 attacks here. It's just impossible at this point, as AZALEA quickly made this greatly in their favor here. Erena is trying to get any hit she can, and she got a decent few hits here, but not enough to finish off anyone, but close. But unfortunate for the guys, they go and lose 4 in a row here. Not good at all. Adai's looking so dominant with their 4-0 record, has now gone 0-4 here, a complete reverse of what they started, and now they're looking very vulnerable and potentially going to lose a playoff spot here, as now they move forward to 4. But the story here is of course AZALEA, who's now 6-3, a very, very good record here. So the story of this battle goes to Shizuku, who herself got 6 whole kills here and only 2 deaths. A very, very good performance. Setsuna had a pretty decent performance here with 3 and 2, Ayumu not so much. For Adai's, it was just Anju who was doing all the heavy lifting, but her 2 teammates just did not do enough to save them. So unfortunately for Adai's, they're looking to potentially not making the playoffs here. Of course, there are still 2 more battles for them, but we'll have to see if they continue to lose here. But lucky for AZALEA, they are definitely doing very well here, and a playoff spot is essentially guaranteed now. Welcome to the 4th battle of week 9. Here on the left we have Lily White, and on the right we have CYaRon. Lily White is 1-6, while CYaRon is 2-5. Basically not a very interesting battle here, as Lily White with 3 whole wins, they can get to 4 wins here, which that's not even really enough to be in consideration for playoffs, but losing here will cement their defeat, as Lily White I think will be mathematically eliminated if they lose here. So we'll have to see what this entails for Lily White, but they don't have much to going on here. Well, we had Nozomi and Rin die early here, and we have Rin dying soon afterwards, and we had Chika also die here. So I don't know, a lot of suicides here, as both teams are not very motivated to win here. CYaRon, of course, only has 2 wins. With a win, I guess they can still technically be in the playoff race here. So I guess they want to go and get a victory here, but it's not very reasonable for them to get into the playoffs. But you never know, if they win every single game, I guess it's a possibility here. And we have Nozomi and Umi die here, as Lily White is down to their final 4 lives here. Lily White has won their first game, and they lost 6 in a row. I'm guessing they're thinking about making it 7. I guess that's one way to have a good record here. Someone won't break that. And Nozomi is out of lives already here. I don't know what their goal is here, but losing, if their goal is losing, I guess they're doing a good job at that. So Yo still has not lost her first life here, as CYaRon has only lost 2 lives. Everyone in Lily White has lost 2 lives here, so that's not very good here. And Rin is, well, almost completely dead without able to steal any lives from her teammates here. And there goes Rin, who got 1 kill, I guess. I guess it counts for something. And there goes Chika, as she finally goes on to her final life here. Honestly, probably one of the worst performances I've seen from Lily White, or just in general. This is just a depressingly sad performance here by Lily White. Umi looks to try to get a kill here, and she does not. She gets punished for trying to get some nice kills off the side. So now Umi's down, and now it's just Nozomi, who's down to her final life. And she tries to get a kill here on Yo, but fails to do so. But actually, no, she does get it. And then she dies right afterwards. Oh my god. Wow, yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's just an awful performance. So congrats to CYaRon, I guess, moves to 3 and 5, which technically is still gonna let him have a chance in getting into the playoffs here. Well, Lily White participated, as they now have 7 losses in a row here. Definitely looking like the worst team here. Umi got 2 kills, and Nozomi got 1 4. Oh jeez, and I don't. Chika didn't even do that well here either. But I guess Yo got 5 kills. I didn't really remember seeing any great performances or great combos. It's mostly La Stupidity from La Lily White here. So Lily White, I guess, did okay in damage. She just decided to die. They didn't even all take that much damage here. So honestly, it's just a bad performance by Lily White. So I guess Lily White is basically mathematically eliminated here. Well, CYaRon has a chance here. So I guess congrats to CYaRon, and we'll see if they can make any noise. They probably need 2 more wins still if they want to have a chance. Welcome to the final battle of Week 9. Here on the left we have DiverDiva, and on the right we have Quartz. So this is actually a 2 versus a 4 subunit for sizes. So we got to double both of them. So we got 2 eyes and 2 Kanans against all of Quartz here. We'll have to see how that goes. So DiverDiva is at a record of 3 and 5, while Quartz is a record at 3 and 4. Both teams have 3 wins, so they're at the bottom or just outside of the playoffs here. So a win will definitely really help the chances of staying in the playoffs, especially with teams like, I guess, CYaRon and whatnot, who currently just gained their 3rd win here. So winning here will give them a big advantage here. We'll have to see how the DiverDiva performs with 4 sword fighters here. I can't imagine that would make a lot of sense, but who knows. So with a win, DiverDiva can move to 4 and 5, while Quartz can move to a record of 4 and 4 here. Of course, if you're wondering, BiBi is on their bye, so that's why you did not get to see BiBi play. But they keep a record of 6 and 2 for right now here. DiverDiva has not had their bye yet. Their bye will be in the last week here. So early on in this battle, it definitely looks like DiverDiva has been struggling to shell out more damage here, as they all overall have been taking a bit more of a beating here. And it looks like Kanan will not be able to recover here, as she does not have quite the recovery to make it back onto the stage here. Oh no, she does. So apparently she can just barely beat the river, and she does make it back on the stage here. Surprising, as most characters can't seem to be able to do that. So I think they just have slightly more recovery than the river here. So I suppose that other Kanan will eventually make the recovery here. So the first to die here is one of the eyes, as DiverDiva is now down just 1 life here. And then goes Emma to even out the lives here in this clusterfest here. So one of the Kanans goes down, as now DiverDiva is down 2 lives here, while all of Quartz is at really high percentage here. While Uehara and Kanan are doing, I guess okay at the moment here. But they're definitely going to get pretty high in percentages pretty soon here, and as well as the other eye as well, who's really high percentage here. There goes Kanata, as now we have 2 lives lost for Quartz and 2 lives lost for DiverDiva here. We got a big hit here, but the Kanan was able to get lucky and just bounce into walls here and just not be able to send flying and get finished off here. And we get a massive hit on Kasumi, sending her off the stage and finishing her off for this life. So now we have Quartz. We've lost 2 lives here. Well, DiverDiva has only lost 2 at the moment, but we have 3 members of DiverDiva at a really high percentage here at 100. So Erena's able to cover it and it goes straight into a big attack by Ai and promptly dies afterwards here. Then we got one of the Kanans going down here, so we have just 1 life advantage here for DiverDiva, as one of the eyes has not died yet. There goes Kasumi, who probably won't be able to recover that as she is a fighter, and this river is just too deadly for low recovery characters. So there goes Kasumi as she goes down, as DiverDiva all have lost a life so far. So this puts Quartz with 1 life of a disadvantage here, as Kasumi is the one character who, looks like, she did make the recovery here, so Kasumi will not die really early on in her final life here. So Kasumi currently is the one character who died twice here, which definitely puts Quartz at quite a disadvantage here, and was at really high percentages here, so at any moment she can lose her life, and she does. So that gives DiverDiva a bit even more advantage, but the other eye also has a really high percentage here, so they have to be careful not to lose a life here. And there goes Kanata as she has lost another life here. So Quartz is down to 5 lives here, as Reno holds 2 lives for Quartz here. DiverDiva has 8 whole lives here, and they're definitely taking a major advantage here, as they just can't seem, or I should say, Quartz is unable to really just shell out some damage here, as every time they get back onto the stage here, DiverDiva is just able to shell out some damage. DiverDiva is just unable to take control of the ground here, and they're just constantly being launched into the sky here. There goes one of the eyes. Now DiverDiva is down to just 7 lives here versus the 4 lives of Quartz. Quartz has no lives to spare here, and as soon as one of the members fall down, it's just going to be a domino effect, finishing off all of Quartz here. Major hit from Ayer, which actually finishes off Kasumi and nearly finishes off 2 members for Quartz here. With this, Quartz is just eventually going to lose here, as they're down a member and there's nothing they can do about here. They do finish off one of the Kanans, which now puts it to just 6 lives on 3 lives here, but of course DiverDiva has an extra life here, so they actually multiple extra lives here to really combat any silly mistakes that they might make here. And there goes Erena. It's a 2-on-4 here, and there goes Emma. But they do manage to finish off on the eyes at this here. So all 4 members are still alive for DiverDiva, as they have a pretty solid performance against Quartz here. And there we have Kanan finishing off the last member of Quartz here with just a throw to the side here. So a very good performance here by DiverDiva as they finish off one of their rivals, Quartz. DiverDiva will move to 4 and 5, while Quartz will move to 3 and 5. So Quartz, of course, still has 2 more chances to receive a win here, while DiverDiva's final battle will be next week. Their bye is the final week here, so this is their next battle is their last chance to get a victory here. As currently DiverDiva is 4 and 5. If they want to get into playoffs, they really do need to win the last game to really get a good chance at securing the playoffs there. If they lose there, well, then their chances of getting in the playoffs is not really up to them, but how other teams perform here. So they kind of can control their own destiny here, but of course we'll have to check the records again and see who could win and whatnot. But nevertheless, congratulations to DiverDiva, as they had a pretty solid performance against Quartz here. We had 4 and 2 and 4 and 2 from one of the eyes and one of the Kanans, while the other eye and Kanan did not as well. Kind of an average performance from the 2, although kind of I guess did a little better here. For Quartz, I guess Emma did pretty well for the team, I guess 3 and 3, which is kind of average, but the rest of the team really did underperform here. So congratulations to DiverDiva as they increased their chances of getting into the playoffs. So I went ahead and looked at the standings as well as games that they will play in the future, and I have decided this. So names that I highlighted in red or pink have been officially eliminated from playoff contention, and no matter what can happen, they will not be able to make the playoffs. So Lily White and Printemps will no longer be able to make the playoffs. CYaRon, AZALEA, Quartz, DiverDiva, and Arise all have a chance to make the playoffs, but if they were to go only lose, for example, and some other people might win, then they have a chance of not making the playoffs. So these are all still definitely looking to secure the 5 and 6 seed. The teams that are in green have officially made the playoffs. And once it happens for light blue, that means they guarantee the 1 or 2 seed, which no one has because everyone has about 7-6 wins. That more or less describes the current playoff situation. So if you're fans of Guilty Kiss, Saint Snow, BiBi, or Asuna, congratulations, you have made the playoffs. So thank you guys for watching, and next time we'll see who will make the playoffs or may not with the next week. And we'll see if these seeds change and who will secure the bye and who will be eliminated. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to catch you guys in another video soon.